Coming up on 5 Minute News. Biden calls on Congress to pass weapons ban. Oakland launches guaranteed pay plan for low-income people. And AstraZeneca accused of cherry-picking vaccine study data. It's Wednesday, March 24. I'm Anthony Davis. US President Joe Biden urged Congress to swiftly pass mass gun control laws and may take action on his own to stop mass violence, the White House said on Tuesday, a day after the second deadly mass shooting in a week. The Democrat called on the Senate to approve two bills passed by the House of Representatives on March 11 that would broaden background checks on gun buyers. He also called for a ban on assault-style weapons. I don't need to wait another minute, let alone an hour, to take common-sense steps that will save the lives in the future, and I urge my colleagues in the House and Senate to act, Biden said at the White House on Tuesday. Spokeswoman Jen Psaki told reporters Biden is considering a range of executive actions to try to stop gun violence. Such actions do not require the approval of Congress. Biden, who took office in January, pledged during his presidential campaign to enact gun safety measures, but has devoted the first months to distributing coronavirus stimulus and vaccines. On Monday, a gunman killed 10 in a Colorado supermarket, just 6 days after 8 people were shot and killed at Atlanta area day spas. The two shootings put renewed pressure on Biden to act on his promise. The United States has the world's highest rate of civilian gun ownership and a gun fatality rate consistently higher than other rich nations. There were more than 43,000 U.S. gun deaths last year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. The mayor of Oakland, California, on Tuesday announced a privately funded program that will give low-income families of color $500 per month, with no rules on how they can spend it. The program is the latest experiment with a guaranteed income, an idea that giving poor people a set amount of money each month helps ease the stresses of poverty that often lead to poor health while hindering their ability to find full-time work. The idea isn't new, but having a revival across the US after some mayors launched small temporary programs across the country in a coordinated campaign to convince Congress to adopt a national guaranteed income program. The first program launched in 2019 in Stockton, California, led by former Mayor Michael Tubbs. Tubbs, who founded the group Mayors for a Guaranteed Income, has said about 6 similar programs in other cities should be up and running by the summer. We have designed this demonstration project to add to the body of evidence and to begin this relentless campaign to adopt a guaranteed income federally, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf said. The Oakland Resilient Families Program has so far raised $6.75 million from private donors, including Blue Meridian Partners, a national philanthropy group. To be eligible, people must have at least one child under 18 and income at or below 50% of the area median income, about $59,000 per year for a family of 3. Oakland's project is significant because it's one of the largest efforts in the US so far, targeting up to 600 families, and it's the first program to limit participation strictly to Black, Indigenous, and communities of color. AstraZeneca may have included outdated information in touting the effectiveness of its COVID-19 vaccine in a US study, federal health officials said yesterday, in an unusual public rift that could further erode confidence in the shot. In response, AstraZeneca said that it is working on more up-to-date information and that the more recent findings are consistent with its initial announcement that the vaccine offered strong protection. It promised an update within 48 hours. In an extraordinary rebuke just hours after AstraZeneca on Monday announced its vaccine worked well in the US study, an independent panel that oversees the study scolded the company for cherry-picking data, according to a senior administration official. The panel wrote to AstraZeneca and US health leaders that it was concerned the company chose to use data that was outdated and potentially misleading instead of the most recent and complete findings, according to the administration official. The letter goes on to say decisions like this are what erode public trust in the scientific process. The US study was supposed to help settle lingering questions about the effectiveness of a vaccine that is being widely used in Europe and other parts of the world and is about to be considered for use in Americans too. Rebuilding confidence in its vaccine is what AstraZeneca had hoped to accomplish on Monday when it announced that a predominantly US study of 32,000 volunteers showed its vaccine was 79% effective in preventing symptomatic COVID-19 disease, and that no vaccinated volunteers had suffered severe illness or hospitalizations. But shortly after midnight, the National Institutes of Health issued a statement saying the independent monitors that oversee the study had expressed concern that AstraZeneca may have included outdated information from that trial, which may have provided an incomplete view of the efficacy data. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.